This is Renelle, and welcome to Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and friends. And here he is now, your host, my main man, Rod Brooks.
Thank you very much, Renelle. I am Rod Brooks, and welcome everyone to Quality Hang. And as always, I'm joined on this broadcasting adventure by my friend, your friend, the co-host of Quality Hang. He is Marcus Osborne. What up, dog? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm just trying to get this camera to work for me. Is it looking
There
okay?
we go. I love it. First off, let me say, I love what you're doing with the new setup.
Oh,
I'm digging it. I've seen it come together over these last few shows. Has been awesome.
Slowly but surely. There's a few more things to be done, but slowly but surely. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to have to have you come
went
through.
From a room that looked like you were being held hostage against your will it's now looking like a room that is telling the viewer exactly how Marcus gets down. And the first thing you put up was that picture of Prince, or the Prince album cover. Is that controversy? Yeah, it's controversy, right? Yeah,
that is controversy behind me. And then I got I got some posters when I used to work for Live Nation. So these are posters from shows.
I love that Eric B. and Rakim poster. Love it.
Yeah. Up there, I got Tank and the Bangers up top. On the other side of the room, I got
Prince
Blues
for
Traveler and Psychedelic Furs. On the other side of the room, you can't see it, but I got a Dave Chappelle and a Damian Marley. It's a bunch of other Willie Nelson over there.
I love it.
I'll give you a tour when the thing is all together.
I love it. I love it. I love the way that it is coming together. And we love that you are joining us on this Thursday evening. We like to think that we are officially getting your weekend started. So before we start the show, we would like to, as we always do before we get things started on Quality Hang, thank our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns. 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. And at all 3 locations, they all do the same great things. By the way, I've verified this. They all do the same great things. Fantastic food from a wildly diverse menu, a craft beer selection that is absolutely outstanding no matter what you're looking for. Even if you don't know what you're looking for, they have it for you at all 3 Hop Monk locations. By the way, full bar at all 3 Hop Monk locations. And my favorite thing about Hop Monk is what they do as far as live music and live entertainment is concerned. So popular that you will have touring acts from around the country stop by all 3 Hop Monk venues. But I love it because it's a place for local artists in Sonoma, Sebastopol, Novato, not just in those locations or in Sonoma or Napa or Marin County, but all over the Bay Area. Local artists can go to Hop Monk and they can see and be seen. So to see what they have coming up as far as live music, live entertainment is concerned, check them out at hopmonk.com. Follow them on all the socials and definitely check them out in Sonoma, Sebastopol, or in Novato. So, all right, my brother, here we are coming up on the middle of February, and we are now at the NBA All-Star break. And I don't know, and maybe it's just me, but it sure seems like this All-Star break, of this upcoming All-Star game in LA, mind you, is kind of just like, nobody's checking for it, right?
It's just that weird. I guess every 15 years or so, you kind of go through this period where the league is trying to rediscover who it's going to build around. And you notice that most during the All-Star break, because once upon a time, you could look forward to the highlight being LeBron or Shep or Durant or any of these cats. But now, we trying to bring in Wemby, and what is this, his second appearance or something like that? We trying to wrap our arms around Shea and all these other young folks. It's going to be weird for a couple of years until somebody, typically it's 3 or 4 players, separate themselves from the pack, and the league decides to coalesce around them for the next 15 years. So it's going to be weird for them.
Because you got no Steph, you got no LeBron, you got no Giannis. There doesn't seem to be any juice or excitement for the new USA versus the world format, although you did have some people try to make it try to make it European white guys against Black Americans, which I don't know if we really can handle that as a country
This
right
is not
now.
the time.
Where we are, now's not the time.
Once upon a time, we could have a sense of humor about it. Not now.
Maybe a few years ago,
Yep.
hopefully a few years in the future, but right now in the big 2026, I just don't know if we can handle a black guys versus a white guys basketball game for the entire country, really for the entire world to see.
We saw that in the 80s with Magic versus Bird, and it was ugly for a few years.
It was ugly for a while.
We don't
Yeah,
want that.
no doubt. Yeah, right now it would be
ugly. Because Rod, people wouldn't know how to act. They couldn't know how to act.
No. People would definitely show their ass for sure on both sides. The dunk contest is as dead as Napoleon. It's over. Who's in it? Exactly.
It
may turn out to be a decent dunk contest, but the people who are not in it are going to be the ones that are thought about more than the people who are in it. The 3-point contest is kind of at this point. It's
Steph was supposed to be in it.
Maybe but again, with no Steph,
he was supposed to be in it this year.
And that would have been nice. But with no Steph, again, there is no juice, so it just seems kind of meh. The only thing that people can really talk about right now, as far as the NBA is concerned, it's not the All-Star game, not what we've gotten here in the first half of the season, not what we may get or we hope to get in the unofficial second half, then going into and through the playoffs. The only thing people can talk about as far as the NBA is concerned is how you have at least a dozen teams that are actively and nakedly tanking for top draft picks next year. I know that we get to this point in the season and we get bored. And I know we like to talk and sort of ascribe a lot of things to the NBA, whether it's fair or unfair. We do that, but it sure just seems getting to this All-Star game, getting to this All-Star break in this season, it just seems like we're just kind of right now at sort of at a lull or a low point.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting because, as always, the season starts off with one story. And then the twist happens because at first everybody was talking about OKC could easily take that Warriors team out. Mm-hmm. They're going to win 75 games this year. Mm-hmm. Needless to say, that did not happen. It is not going to happen. And we'll see what happens with the rest of the season as it comes along. And maybe I've been tricked into believing that there's some hope here. But the more people talk about what Porzingis can do, the more I think, well, maybe if Steph comes back and Porzingis is actually something they could actually sneak into the playoffs and win a series. And then after that, I don't really believe that, though. I don't really believe it. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, I can see it, just in terms of everything working out perfectly, a healthy Steph, a healthy Porzingis, and the fight that this Warrior team has shown over these past few games, or at least when talking about last night, the fight they showed, in the first quarter or the first half before
first three quarters.
First 3 quarters, yeah, exactly. Before the Spurs got serious and eventually put the game out of reach for the Warriors. Just in terms of the fight they've shown and Steph's talent and the idea of Porzingis and what he can provide and what he will possibly bring, I can see it in terms of, listen, I think their ceiling is a play-in team. I would be stunned, even though their schedule seems to soften up because out of the 25, 28 games they have left in the season, a good handful or 2 handfuls of those games involve teams that are actively and nakedly literally tanking, playing in our faces. And by the way, I love the NBA. The NBA today, they fined the Jazz $500,000, and they fined, I believe it was the Pacers, $100,000 for sitting out players, for playing in our faces, basically.
Dude, it's
for tanking.
So ridiculous. I mean, listen,
Where are the Jazz going to get $500,000
Yeah.
from? Oh my God, can you imagine?
Listen, tank. Go ahead and tank. Don't be so obvious. Like we've gotten to the point where it's way too obvious. Like you're taking out good players in the fourth quarter so you don't give your team a chance at all to win. This is ridiculous. And I think the fine should be heftier. Maybe even costing draft picks.
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe not draft picks, but perhaps draft position. You know what would hurt them? If you say, okay, if we catch you tanking, we'll take you out of the lottery and we'll give you the pick of some other team that's not in the lottery.
There has to be something punitive. Just finding these teams hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even if you jumped it into the millions. The teams that are really about that tanking life, that's not going to dissuade them. You have
They're
to. They're
already wasting money by pulling dudes.
Exactly.
They don't care.
Exactly. They don't care about the money. Money to them is not an object. And if you really want to make it hurt, you have to. If you catch them tanking, you have to take away the incentive or the reward for actively tanking.
That's right.
But that's going to take some. That's going to take some hard conversations, and it's going to take some leadership by Adam Silver. But where it stands right now, there are again a good 10 to 12 teams that are tanking, and the Warriors are going to see those teams here in the run up to the playoffs, the last 25, 30 games, I forget exactly. So, to get this conversation back to the Warriors and finish it up, a healthy Steph with a healthy Porzingis and the idea of what he can do and what he can provide with this Warrior team as it currently is constituted. Again, to me, their ceiling is a play-in team. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, provided, of course, you have adjusted your expectations accordingly or you see it for what it is. This is a Warrior team that is not a championship type team, and you have to find a way to get some enjoyment from them being competitive enough to get into the playoffs, albeit in the play-in. I hope I'm wrong about that. It'd be great if they were a 6 seed, but getting into the playoffs and then seeing if you could take some skin off of somebody in the first round, like they were able to, like they got into last year, but somebody took the skin off of them in the Rockets.
None of these teams are unbeatable. Like there's no juggernaut. There are teams that are winning a lot, but I don't think there's a juggernaut out there where you go, oh, you have no chance against these guys. I think everybody you have a puncher's chance against any of these squads.
I would think OKC would be a problem in a 7-game series. I do think, though, and this is not just because of recency bias in what we saw last night, what we've seen now in a few games this season against the Spurs. If the Warriors got the Spurs in a 7-game series, that would be concerned about the Spurs. Absolutely.
It's just not a good matchup.
Nope.
It's not a good matchup for them.
Just like OKC is, or I should say the Spurs are not a good matchup for OKC.
Okay. Yeah. It's just, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the We Believe team that upset Dallas in 2007. Because that team had been spanking Dallas all year. And it's one of those things that people forget about. And Don Nelson had a specific defensive plan against Dirk that worked every single time. Dallas never adjusted to it. Every time. And I think that they could upset the Spurs. You know what the shocking matchup in that is? And actually it's not horrible. Draymond versus Wemby. Not a bad matchup.
No.
You look at his numbers and he goes, oh, he did well, but most of that is from the outside.
It's the kind of matchup that favors Draymond, because if he's allowed to be physical and if he's allowed to be Draymond, and I don't say that in a negative way. I say that in a fairly positive, if not completely positive way. But if Draymond is allowed to be Draymond, that's a matchup where it could be one that is physical against Wembanyama and eventually can end up being frustrating against Wembanyama. But here's the thing. You better get your lick right now, because eventually, and that eventuality is going to happen sooner rather than later. Eventually, you're going to have to pay the piper when it comes to that point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and people forget, like, Draymond is about 240, and I'm not sure Wemby is that.
No.
That's
No.
I'm not sure he is that. He just has to shoot over him. But I think that forces Wemby out of the paint, which gives the Warriors some chances to do some stuff.
No,
but they can't shoot, Rod.
I completely
Warriors
agree.
can't shoot.
Which, by the way, it doesn't stop them from attempting to shoot.
Right.
They doesn't stop them at all. It doesn't stop them at all.
It is, and this is one of the things that frustrates me about Warrior fans. They don't really. It seems like they've lost their intelligence for this game. They act like if it wasn't for just the coach, or if it only had JK, then it would be all good. Dude, this team is a team of just dudes, and they are inconsistent. They don't. You never know when they're going to play well. But people get so excited when one day or 2 games or even 3 games or 4 games in a row somebody does well. Most of the time they play well at home. They get on the road and they suck ass. It kind of is that simple.
It is a team of, and I don't say this with any negativity whatsoever. For the most part, it's a team full of role players. Okay,
absolutely.
And you can get away, right? And you could get away with a team full of role players during the regular season because it eventually ends up being sort of a long slog, and you can play matchups, or you don't know what you're going to see from the opposition on a night in, night out basis because of injuries or load management or good old fashioned tanking. And you can get by with role players if you have a superstar in Steph, which they do. If you have a very intelligent basketball player in Draymond Green when he's not turning the ball over, and if you have a guy, to bring Porzingis into this conversation, if you have a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, who is a very unique and talented basketball player, and he provides a skill set that a lot of guys don't have, provided, of course, he's healthy. That the role players work when you have those guys, particularly, most notably, if not exclusively, Steph. I think the conversation about the Warriors, which has gotten and has been goofy for a while, the people who are the wrongest, and I know that's not a word, but you get what it is. The people who are the wrongest are normally the ones who are the loudest, and that is what plays on the internet and most notably on social media. So those people are always they're always going to have a platform, and their wrongness is always going to be amplified because that's just the way the algorithm works. And there is also there are a group of people who are literally raging at the dying of the light because they're not ready to accept that this thing is coming to an end. And it might end with Steph only having 4 rings. It might end with the Warriors never having another serious, legitimate chance of getting to the West Finals and possibly playing for an NBA championship. So because these people who are loud and wrong, which seems together nowadays run simultaneously, because those people can see the end of the highway and the abyss that's beyond the end of that highway, because they can see it. It makes them louder and it makes them more entrenched in their opinions, which more than likely are going to be wrong because they're not 100%. Necessarily based on any basketball truths.
There is a diluted perspective that comes with winning. And one of those things being, well, if only this one thing were different, then we'd be in the game. It's because of X, Y, Z it's never that simple. Yeah. This is not this is a team of tryhards. And I'll give Steve Kerr a lot of credit for having these guys still being interested in competing. Because at this point, with that lineup, with that squad, these dudes shouldn't be in most of these games.
No, you're 100% correct. But if you listen to those guys who are loud and wrong, Steve Kerr can't coach. And if you listen to some of those guys who are loud and wrong, not having Jonathan Kuminga is going to be the death of this team. And also there are people who are saying that, well, now that Jonathan Kuminga is not there, that's the reason that the Warriors' vibes have been better or whatever. I don't think that there's a whole lot of truth, if any truth, in either of those statements. But, the Jonathan Kuminga thing, and hopefully, Marcus, this will be the end of the discussion.
I hope so.
Because he's gone, and the promise of Jonathan Kuminga just never came through. And the story came out from Anthony Slater of ESPN and ESPN.com this week. And I want to say this in Slater's, not his defense, but credit to Anthony Slater. I thought it was excellent reporting.
It was great. It was good
I thought the food thing was kind of dirty pool. And I don't necessarily put that on Slater. I think that's just part of the reporting. I think it was dirty pool from whoever inside the Warriors organization.
It's the agent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? That's a very good point. That's an extremely good point. I never thought about it that way. That it could be his agent giving that to Slater instead of that coming from the organization. That's a very good point.
Just reading the story, I felt like a lot of that was coming from the agent, and he's a guy who likes to talk. And he may end up. I mean, we won't know right now, but this is also one of those kinds of guys who go. People are going, yeah, I don't want. This guy is not great enough for me to deal with this guy.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though, about the agent, and I'm just there with you that the agent side of the story was a part of the overall story. But I do think, and this is where I think Slater's reporting about the Kuminga situation. That's why I think it was so good. Because to me, Joe Lacob and the Warriors front office, just to use that catch-all term, they're the ones who come out of this looking.
Amen. I agree.
Kuminga obviously bears some responsibility for what happened. I think Steve Kerr, to a lesser extent, but in the mix, he bears some responsibility. I think the agent has not done his clients any favors. He bears some responsibility, but to me, the overarching tone of the story was Joe Lacob in that front office not reading the room and understanding that Jonathan Kuminga was either unwilling or unable to play in Steve Kerr and Steph Curry's system. I emphasize Steve Kerr and Steph Curry's system because it is theirs. What Steph wants to do is cool with Steve, and what Steve wants to do is cool with Steph.
That's right.
When we were talking to our good buddy Matt Kolsky, part of the Locked On Warriors crew, he brought up a very good point that you had these two timeline deals, but the front office and the basketball people, they were not on the same parallel tracks. And that's why the Kuminga situation soured the way it did. But who are on two parallel tracks and have been for a long time and will be until this thing actually runs out of track? Steve Kerr.
Steve and Steph.
And Steph Curry. And for the front office to not understand, again, that Kuminga was either unwilling or unable to play in the Steve Kerr, Steph Curry system, for them not to see that a couple of years ago and adjust accordingly, that's the big failure. More so than Kuminga's inability or unwillingness to play the type of basketball he needed to play, more than the agent and his histrionics, more than Steve Kerr's culpability in all of this. It's the front office's responsibility to see something's not working and do something about it. And they didn't do anything about it until it was too late.
Yes, man, you are so on point, because that's what I took away from that article as well. I'm like, I actually thought this has less to do with Steve Kerr and more to do with Lacob than I ever anticipated. Mm-hmm. And to a lesser degree, Dunleavy's inexperience as a GM, because I'm not certain this goes on if the last GM is still in the seat. I'm not certain that it continues to linger.
Bob Myers was the canary in the coal mine.
Mm-hmm.
He saw what was coming. Okay, not just with Kaminga, but other factors as well. He saw what was coming, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be up out of here.
Man, it
He's
is
like, I got an owner that is feeling himself a little bit too much.
too much.
He's all in on a 19-year-old kid. That's a good kid. This like I said, I think it's dirty pool, the Kaminga food situation, and anybody who really wants to come down on Kaminga. I mean, yeah, he's responsible for the way he did or did not play at times, but to go beyond that, I think is bullshit. But Bob Myers could see that you had a headstrong young man who wanted to play a certain way, wanted to hoop a certain way, and a coach and a superstar that didn't want him, that weren't cool with that because that wasn't conducive to how they have won in the past. Bob Myers could see the age coming. He could see the disease of me. He could see all of that coming. And he's like, I'm going to go ahead and dip out before we get to this point.
This is really where organizations find themselves on the ass end of everything at the end of a dynasty. It reminds me so much of the Chicago Bulls ending and how that whole thing fell apart, where the ownership and the management thought they knew best. And sometimes you got to listen to your basketball people. And you and I both agree that ownership is where everything starts. Ownership is how this team got to where they are, and ownership is going to end up being one of the things that cost them. Even at the end of the dynasty cycle, it may not affect – it's affecting them now, but there are also potential long-term effects of that happening. And people talk about the free agents coming and all that stuff. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about simply in building and rebuilding this team. If the owner thinks that they know as much as the basketball people, it's going to, and it already has, affected your draft picks, the way, the system that you run, the way your team meshes. The coach knows what kinds of players he needs to make his system work. You got to get the fuck out of the way.
No, 100%. 100%. I mean, we've seen this time and time again, and it's a story that's going to repeat itself. And it's a shame that we have to watch it happen here in real time. However, as frustrating as it is to see what is happening now, and for the folks who kind of called it a few years ago, how the 2022 championship sort of came, it was an accident. And maybe set this whole thing, as to where we are right now, in motion. But as frustrating as it is to foresee where we are now, or to live in where we are now as far as the current Warrior reality, 4 championships is seemingly out of, if not completely out of nowhere, in a relatively short amount of time is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think that perspective gets lost because, and I understand this point of view, and I understand the anger that surrounds this point of view, is that you have Steph Curry, who's going to be one of the greatest of all time, who is a generational talent, who is still playing at a high level right now in the big 2026, yet they didn't do enough to maximize his skill set right now and put enough around him because the owner, just to use that term, seemed to think that he could do this whole 2 timelines thing. Yeah. And I understand people's frustration with that.
He made the mistake of jumping in before they asked for him to jump in. There really was no need to come up with this quote unquote 2 timeline thing. Listen, the only reason they were in position to make those draft picks anyway was because Steph and Clay and KD were all gone for a year. I mean, if that doesn't happen, what are we talking about? Sometimes you meddle too much, you get too cute, you think you know too much, instead of letting the basketball people do their thing.
I think Steph's play at a high level at this age caught them by surprise. Caught them by surprise.
They did. You know it.
Or they just didn't think it was possible. Either way, they didn't see it, and I think even the staunchest Steph supporter, say that fast 3 times, to see him still playing at this high of a level coming up on 40. He's 38.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it's. I mean, you can hope, but to say like, yeah, he's going to be averaging 28 points and selected to the All-Star game. Unfortunately, he's not going to play in this weekend, but selected to an All-Star game. And if he comes back and he maintains that 28-point average, he's going to end up being on one of the 3 All-NBA teams. To say that he would be doing that at this age in 2026,
nope.
I mean, I'd have a hard time believing you, even if you are a massive Steph fan.
Yep. Dom says, just don't become Jerry Jones. Yeah, that's what everybody hopes. We don't want that.
I saw someone on Twitter, I don't remember if it was today or yesterday, said, I'm paraphrasing here, is that the fear is, the thought is that Joe Lacob was turning into Jerry Buss. But then you find out that he's not turning into Jerry Buss. He's turning into Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And that is a chilling thought.
Yeah. I'd love for him to be Jerry Buss. Jerry Buss got a bunch of titles. Jerry Jones ain't.
No.
Jerry Jones, it's a weird parallel. Jerry Jones thought he was the guy. He hated that his coach was getting all the credit.
I get it. But here's where you lose the parallel. Jerry Jones fired Jimmy Johnson. Joe Lacob was stupid enough to fire Steve Kerr. Now, does Steve Kerr come back? Does Steve Kerr come back next? No, he's not fired. Come on now. No.
Would you be shocked?
Yes. I would absolutely be shocked. I would be shocked if he fired Steve Kerr, and I would be shocked if he traded Steph Curry.
Well, I would be shocked if he traded Steph Curry. But, I mean, more and more, I think he comes off as a guy who is desperate to be lauded as the mastermind. And I think that the stuff... I
don't disagree with that.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he's dumb enough to fire Steve Kerr to prove that point. See, here's the thing with Jerry Jones. I don't think Jerry Jones is all that bright. I think Jerry Jones is a brilliant businessman. I think Jerry Jones is I think he's a brilliant marketer. Let's put it that way. I think he's exceptional at marketing. I don't think he's very smart. I will give Joe Lacob credit. I do think he's smart. I think he is unfortunately, like a lot of wealthy people, he thinks he's smart in all areas, which is how we've kind of gotten into the situation we've been talking about and what we've observed here with the Warriors. But I don't think he's stupid. I don't think he's rash. Let's put it that way. And it would be a rash decision to fire Steve Kerr this year. And I emphasize this year because, and I think we've talked about this before, I don't think Steve Kerr comes back next year. I think Steve is just like, man.
I vacillate between my theories there because on the one hand, I'm going like, if I was this guy, I'd be like, the hell with these people. These folks are not grateful at all. And then when I hear him talk about how much he actually loves being coach of the Warriors, like, man, maybe he will come back. Maybe he will.
I think he loves being coach of the Warriors. I think that love of coaching the Warriors has a lot to do with Steph Curry being on the Golden State Warriors. Now, I think Steph is going to play for another couple of years, but my point is that I just don't see Joe Lacob firing Steve Kerr because he thinks he knows better or Steve Kerr is getting too much of the credit. I could see the scenario I could see, it's not Steve Kerr getting fired by Joe Lacob. I could see Steve Kerr saying, I've had enough of
the meddling,
Joe Lacob's interference in this overall deal. And I've dealt with it for a few years. We won a championship in 2022, so that lessened some of the blow. But okay, Bob Myers isn't here. Draymond is getting older. This thing, as far as competing for championships, they're not at that point. So I could see Steve Kerr saying, I'm done with it. But that's just my own opinion and speculation.
Yeah, I can see it. I know I would get to the point where I'm just tired of hearing all this nonsense.
Yeah.
I got money in the bank. I don't need this drama. But then again, like if somebody loves what they do,
Mhm.
and even if he decides to leave or quit, it's not like he would be without offers. So
Yeah.
he really could make his own mind up of what he wants to do next. But it would be sad if that guy ends up leaving the Warriors on a sour note, because everybody should be thanking
Yes.
thanking him and kissing his feet for what he's done for this team.
To me, one of the tenets of adulthood is that you have to love what you do enough to put up with the people that you work with.
Yes.
So that's the decision, that Steve Kerr has to wrestle with or does wrestle with, and maybe he doesn't whatsoever. So who knows?
Well, can I bring up this?
Sure, please.
No, because I always hearing bring back the bring back Jordan Poole stuff as if Jordan Poole was some kind of savior, and then I'm reading today that he's had 9 DNPs in a row.
I saw that.
9 in a row. Like, what?
I saw that. Yeah.
What? At one point, this is a dude who thought he was not only going to be, but he thought he deserved to be the face of the franchise. And it does seem that once they leave Coach Kerr's system, not much becomes of most of these guys anymore. And I see the kid, Ryan Rollins, he's doing okay. Ty Jerome is doing okay. But for the most part, once they leave,
clearly there is truth to that. Being with the Warriors, and Kuminga is probably going to end up finding this out. Being with the Warriors is better than not being with the Warriors. But put it this way: playing with Steph is a lot better than not playing with Steph.
That's it.
But I don't know where Rollins went. I don't know where Ty Jerome went. But I do know that Jordan Poole ended up in Washington and is now with the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, man.
You get
those are 2 basketball wastelands.
With the Pelicans?
I understand that. You should be getting maximum run with the Pelicans. All I'm saying is that we're talking about 2 organizations that are not very good whatsoever. So I'm just providing context. Hear that? Yes. Ultimately, when you don't play, that's kind of on you, the player. But what's the context surrounding the DMPs? Because all DMPs are not the same.
This is 100% true.
The DMPs that Jordan Poole is currently catching right now ain't the same DMPs that Jonathan Kuminga was catching.
Not at all.
When he was with the Warriors. But all you see is did not play, right?
Yep.
So
they are definitely not the same.
So I don't know what's happening, with Jordan Poole with the Pelicans, but what I do know is, okay, again, you're Jordan Poole, you should be playing, you're not playing, but the New Orleans Pelicans basketball team is not a bastion of basketball, in terms of being a well-run organization. It just doesn't scream that. Never has, never will, right?
And also, to be fair, they've had some really shitty injury luck. Like everybody, it's like they are cursed. Every single major player on that team, probably the past 7 years that I can think of, has been injured. Every single one.
We know what the answer to that question is, my friend. Voodoo. Good old fashioned
It's that voodoo.
New Orleans Creole voodoo. Somebody put the root on the New Orleans Pelicans.
Dude, aren't I think that there are certain places, certain cities where you kind of have to be a little bit more than a 20-year-old kid. You have to have some maturity and discipline about yourself. And New Orleans is one of them places.
New Orleans, Atlanta,
one of them places.
Vegas.
Atlanta, ooh-wee.
I think for the
Vegas.
right or wrong young
Miami.
man, DC, Miami,
Yeah.
New York.
It'd be right, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, listen,
If I was a
listen.
21-year-old in New Orleans, a bunch of money. Oh my God.
I mean, quiet is kept, or maybe not
Uh,
very quiet. If you know, you know. Houston, H-Town,
oh,
H-Town.
we know.
If you ain't
We know.
careful, you can get caught up in the mix in H-Town.
Okay.
Right.
We do know about some H-Town. That's why dudes will go there. They think they free agents.
Yeah. Google Vernon Maxwell. You go to H-Town. All right. It's not New York. It's not Vegas. All right. It's not LA. But you go to H-Town.
But it is a destination for people.
It is if
a
what you're looking
destination.
if you're looking for a certain type thing, Houston, Texas is definitely a destination. And I'm not talking about barbecue. Okay.
You already know.
Not talking about barbecue
more than Dallas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if I have
Bomani
to
Jones,
play in Texas, it's Houston.
Oh, you're playing Houston. Oh yeah.
It's
Bomani
Houston.
Jones asked Vernon Maxwell, Rockets great, asked him, it's like, you know, you went to University of Florida, you know, why Houston? Why did Houston have such a hold on you? And Vernon Maxwell said, and this is a direct quote, I am not paraphrasing, this is a direct quote. Vernon Maxwell said in response to Bomani Jones's question, why did Houston have such a hold on you? Vernon Maxwell said, because of all those Beyoncés down there. That's all you need to know. It is a city full of Beyoncés, Megan Thee Stallions, and Anna Nicole Smiths. Okay,
yeah, boy.
All right,
yeah, boy.
It's lousy with them the entire city.
It's insane.
So,
it's insane when you can just go. I'm used to that. It's fine.
So, there you go.
You know what else? Not necessarily LA, but playing for the Lakers can get you caught up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not necessarily just the city, but playing for the Lakers in particular can get you really caught up.
Yeah. No doubt about that. No doubt about that at all. Shifting gears here.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a longtime quality hanger, you know I am obsessed with robots. Marcus is nodding his head. Marcus knows that I'm obsessed with robots. And if you are new to Quality Hang, just to let you know, and also to warn you, the reason I'm obsessed with robots is because my third eye is open. Because I know that robots will be used to enslave humankind. This is coming. Of
course.
All right. I'm not just some crazy person.
Yeah.
With the podcast, robots are going to be used to enslave us. And with my third eye being open, I want your third eye to be open. And see, here's the thing, and this is how they get you, right? Is you see robots nowadays, right? And you see them all out there dancing, being friendly, waving at you, right? Because that's how they're trying to desensitize us to what is coming. They're trying to make us think, oh, the robots are friendly. They're here to help. Oh, look, the robots, they're dancing. They're just here to entertain us. See, I'm telling you, this is all robot propaganda. They're just trying to get you to think that the robots are just going to be out here for our entertainment. Now, I will say this. Robots breaking it down on the real, though.
Dude, is this robot in blackface? Should I be offended?
Wait, in blackface, in what seems to be some sort of traditional Chinese garb. So,
what's happening here?
But see, they're saying the robot is dancing, but right, those are robot martial arts moves that will be used to kill us if we do not obey the robots. Like, see the robot shaking hands and waving. See, robot blowing kisses. They're just trying to get you to think as the human robots are friendly and not dangerous. But I'm here to tell you, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Robots will kill us and enslave us. I'm telling you this.
It's happening. Yeah,
it's absolutely happening.
This has been ordained.
But Marcus, here's the thing, man. It's even more insidious than dancing, waving, robots, they're going to use human beings' sex drive against us because they know as humans,
Right.
we when it comes to sex, we are powerless. So
That's right.
not only
So
do
yeah.
they have robots that are dancing and friendly, Marcus, they got robots on the pole, dog.
Yep. Here they come.
It's a wrap.
Here
It's
they
a wrap.
come.
It's a wrap. Pole dancing robots. Pole dancing robots. So they're getting us with the friendly robots, and then for the freakiest of the deakiest of us human
Oh
beings,
my goodness gracious me.
they know we gonna see a pole dancing robot.
I lost you, Rod. I can't hear you now.
We gonna see the stripper robot. See, because they know I'm telling the truth. They trying to silence me because I'm telling the truth about robots.
Oh shit.
Because I'm telling the truth about robots.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
You can hear me now. You're still there. See, people?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
This is what they're doing. I can hear you. I can hear you. But see, now I'm not so crazy, am I? All right.
Oh my God.
I'm not just some kook with a conspiracy theory. Because I'm telling the truth. They silenced me and didn't want Marcus to know. But to the quality hangers out there, please understand, this is what's coming. It's not just going to be like, oh, we saw the dog robots and we thought, oh, look, cute. It's a dog robot. And then all of a sudden, you start seeing the human robots. And you got the human robots all up there dancing. Everybody thinks it's great. See, they're preying on our sensibilities. And what they're saying is, okay, we're going to get the human beings to think. The robots, they're just there to entertain. They're there to dance. They're there to be kind. And then they know that we're just a bunch of horn dogs as human beings. What do? What have they invented? They invented, Marcus, the pole dancing robots. It's over for humanity unless we understand what's coming and we don't fall for these tricks. Do you understand where I'm coming from, Mark?
I think that everything you say is 100% factual. I also think that, like most honeypot traps, ain't nothing we can do to stop it. Ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Dude can't say no. Can't say no. Some can, but most of them can't. It's a fact.
And we all got a couple of homeboys that we know full well gonna fall prey to the robot woman.
That's why like all the Russian spies who were women and the Sparrow program and all that's why it works.
Yeah.
That's why it works, because guys are so goddamn gullible when it comes to women. We don't ever stop to think, if this hot chick is approaching us, oh, well, this is weird. I should probably be very suspicious. No, we think, I got it like that. I must got it like that today. We never question why this hot woman is after us like we should. We should be asking, why is she trying to talk to me? But no, I got it like that.
I'm the flyest brother on the planet right now. That's why she's talking to me.
That's right. That's right.
I cannot believe they got the robot on the pole, dog. I cannot believe it. We're still waiting on a cure for cancer, but we got robots pole dancing.
Yeah, we can't cure cancer, but we're gonna set these erections off.
No. We have large portions of this planet without potable drinking water, but we have robots on the pole.
That's right. Oh, you got hips too, by the way. Not bad.
Hey man,
okay,
hey, dog, she's shaking it.
Okay.
She's grinding it. I mean, let's go ahead and keep it a buck. All right. We
you
keep our third eye open, but we can also make the observation that this robot pole dancer she's pretty good at it. Pretty good.
Too good. I wonder who they modeled this after, because that's always the case. They take these robots and they model their movements and their figures after somebody.
I'm look the guy here in the background.
Yeah.
That's staring at the robot that I'll assume he created. I'm just guessing that this came from this guy's imagination. Because there's no way that he's actually ever interacted with a woman that can move like that. I mean, look at this guy. Look at the intensity on his face as he is checking out the hips of this robot pole. Look at him. I mean, he is.
That's hilarious.
He is laser focused in what's happening. So hey, listen, it's just Uncle Rod here, just trying to warn you. Don't fall for the robot propaganda, because they're trying to get us to think that robots are not dangerous by having them be all friendly and dancing and now being sexy on the pole. But keep your third eye open and understand that the robots are going to enslave and or kill us. And only humankind coming together can we band together and do something about this this upcoming apocalypse. Just saying. Don't say I didn't warn you, because I did. There you go. Call me crazy if you want to.
No, it's not crazy. This is prognostication.
Oh, prognostication. Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, we're talking about robot pole dancers here. I heard, interpretation, and I thought, wow, okay, we're going in a completely different direction. How about we do some on this date here? And,
let's do it.
That way we can get our weekend started. On this date, February the 12th. On this date, February the 12th, 1981, one of my absolute favorite bands, Rush, released what I believe to be their best album, Moving Pictures. Tom Sawyer is on this album. YYZ is on this album. Limelight, if I remember. Yeah, Limelight is on this album. Red Barchetta is on this album. Classic, timeless. All of those songs are absolute bangers. I know I'm a Rush fan, which automatically makes me a nerd, but I don't think you can do better than Moving Pictures. I don't think you can do better than those three men: Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson on guitar, and the great and dearly missed Neil Peart on drums.
Yeah.
Three guys who are absolute virtuosos at their respective instruments, and they come together and, for my money, make some of the greatest music that we've seen here over the last 50, 60 years. So on this date in 1981, Rush released Moving Pictures.
Rush is an interesting band to me.
Love them.
For a band that is so lauded, and it just seems like, I guess I've always felt like there was a weird imbalance between the people who love the group and the people who go, Rush. It's so strange to me that such a popular band has so many people who are very anti this band.
Well,
it's weird.
A couple of things, and I will readily admit that Rush is an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste because the first thing you hear is Geddy Lee's voice. And you either are okay with it, it doesn't bother you. You either like it and it adds to the overall texture of what gives you what comes out of your speaker and what goes into your ear, or Geddy Lee's voice is repulsive to you. And for a lot, because if that's the first thing you hear or the first thing that jumps out at you, if it hits you the wrong way or you don't like it, you're not interested in Alec Lifeson's, just incredible guitar work. That's not going to resonate with you because you can't get past the high octave stylings of Geddy Lee. And you're not paying attention to the bass line that Geddy Lee is putting down, and you're not paying attention to what the wizardry of Neil Peart back there because of Geddy Lee's voice. But if Geddy Lee's voice is at minimum okay with you, or you like it and it adds to the overall thing, you cannot help. And this, I'm speaking for myself here, but I think that there are a lot of people Rush fans who feel the exact same way, you cannot help but being drawn in by the genius of Neil Peart and Alex Lifeson's just atmospheric guitar playing. And that's three dudes bringing all that together. Also, you don't know what the hell Rush is singing about. There's some Ayn Rand nonsense in there. By Tor and the Snow Dog. What the fuck is that? And you'll get songs that are 8-10 minutes long, and YYZ is an 8-minute long instrumental. So there's a lot of almost barriers to entry with Rush, but once you get past those barriers, to me, the musicianship and just the overall sound and get down is just so good that you cannot help but be a fan. And also, Rush fans, all dudes.
Well, yeah, there's
rarely
mostly
run
guys.
across a female Rush fan. So that's why I said, I know I'm a nerd because Rush fans are all nerds.
My girl Sarah is a
dudes.
big Rush fan. When I worked at the morning show at Allison 97.3, Sarah is a gigantic Rush fan.
Oh, Sarah from Sarah and Vinny? Yeah, because Sarah's cool.
Gigantic Rush fan.
Right. She's the only female Rush fan right?
Rush is interesting to me because all the things that I would look for in the band that I like, or group that I like, or an artist that I like, they have all the elements. And I love a unique voice. I think that's one of the most important. If I'm scouting an artist, the very first thing I'm going to look for is your voice unique? Not are you a great singer? Plenty of those. Do you have a unique voice? So that would strike me right away. And they're all obviously very good at their instruments. But musically, I just never went. They don't suck. Like I'm not. I can't stand it. But I never got gripped into the Rush mania as some people have. However, I will say this: one of the most fun live bands.
You've seen them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've only got a chance to see them once, and other than seeing Metallica at a half full Fillmore leading up to their Saint Anger tour, seeing Rush was second greatest concert I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievable.
I told you I'm a sucker for live performances. Like,
sure.
If you can do it live, you got me on your side. That's kind of one of the things. That's why I've been a supporter of Rush, even though like they're not my favorite musically. I'm like, man, you just got to see them live. And there's footage of them out there too. You can go and check them out. They're really, really fun live. And
maybe this is just me, but I love it when a band. I'm cool with experimentation to a certain extent. Don't be like the Police on the second go round of their one and only reunion tour. I mean, they just did almost complete rearrangements of their most popular songs. And for me as a Police fan, it was for them, right? Because they were poor. It was a complete and total turnoff. But I'm okay with a little variance, in your live performance of your studio songs. Seeing Rush, they sounded exactly like the albums. It was unbelievable to the note. Unbelievable.
It's a fun ass thing to witness, and I also enjoy Rush fans' enjoyment of Rush. Like that turns me on too.
We're all either air drumming or playing guitar, which is why there are no women at Rush shows, because there's nothing cool about a bunch of people like us going or playing air guitar. No self-respecting woman want to be around a bunch of dudes doing that, and I don't blame them. I completely understand it.
When was the last time they were in the Bay? It had to be 10 years ago.
Oh my God! I mean, shit. It
had to be 10. I think it was.
Neil Peart died.
It had to be 10 years ago. I want to say it was like, and they were in, I think if I remember correctly, it was San Jose. I'm 95% sure it was San Jose. It was like 2014, 15,
I don't
something like that.
know if I can see the ticket. I have a bunch of ticket stubs on the wall in front of me, but I saw them at Concord in Concord at the Concord Pavilion. I want to say that was like 2003, 2004. I mean, it was a long, long, long time ago. I don't see the ticket in front of me, but gone too soon. But it looks like they're coming back around with a woman who supposedly is a very accomplished drummer that's going to sit in the spot that would normally be occupied by Neil Peart. So, I'm definitely going to check it out. And
somebody says they're coming to town this summer.
Yeah. No, it's happening. It's absolutely happening. So I'll check it out. But on this date, Rush dropped the magnum opus, Moving Pictures, on this date in 1981. On this date in 1988, the cinematic classic School Days premiered in theaters. Spike Lee's second movie. The first was the cult classic She's Gotta Have It. School Days came out in 1988, and I feel very confident, Marcus, in saying that no movie in the history of movies being made in the United States of America had more of an impact on Black men and women going to historically Black colleges and universities and joining Black fraternities and sorority. Wasn't a movie before that, has not been a movie since. Now you got a little bit of that with A Different World, the Cosby Show spinoff that had a big influence on people going to historically Black colleges and universities. But as far as movies, School Days made people who didn't even think about going to HBCUs and think about joining Black fraternities like Omega Psi Phi and Alpha Kappa Alpha. Didn't even think about it. They saw School Days, and immediately HBCUs and Black frats and sororities became cool.
Man, I love this movie so much. I know I saw it at least 4 times in the theater. I mean, I knew the entire soundtrack. I knew every song of that soundtrack.
Great soundtrack.
I was reciting the lines. I was doing some of the step routines. I was so into School Days. In hindsight, and I may have said, I don't know if I ever said this to you, but I've mentioned to other people, like, in hindsight, I wish I had gone to an HBCU. I think about that like as one of the few things I wish I had done differently, and that is one of them. I wish I had gone to an HBCU. It would have been amazing. I know it would have been, especially during that period.
I had a chance to, I had some friends that went to Prairie View outside of Houston, had some friends that went to Grambling, got to know some people that went to Grambling. And on the other side of town, on the north side of town, in Baton Rouge, LSU's on the south side, Southern University is on the north side. And listen, man, did we go to Southern to have a good time? Absolutely. We went to Southern have a good time, and they were throwing down over at Southern, over on the yard as they called it. But yeah, man, this movie glorified HBCUs and Black frats and sororities, glorified them and made it look like they were having fun, because you know what? They were having a whole lot of fun.
Oh man.
Whole lot.
They had their own rules. Oh,
yeah,
love it so much.
Yeah, there you go. School Days came out on this date, February 12th, 1988. On this date in 1990, Stanley Burrell from Oakland, California, aka MC Hammer, dropped "Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him." Can't touch this. I don't know. You might have heard that song. Can't Touch This was the number one track off of Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him. She's Soft and Wet. Maybe that was one of your favorite tracks, but the main track on Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him was Let's Pray. Might have been one of your favorite tracks, but the main track was Can't Touch This. You know, again, because it's a different time here. The monoculture is gone. We just don't consume media. We don't consume music like we used to. For those who weren't there, you just won't be able to remember Old Town Road. I know you do. Remember Old Town Road and how big that was?
Of course.
Can't Touch This was 98,000 times bigger. That's how
Yeah, dude.
big that song was. That's how big this album was.
You couldn't get away from people simply just saying the phrase to you
At all.
randomly.
Can't touch this.
Just
And
randomly.
then you would reflexively go, no, 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 no. You would do the bass line from Super Freak.
So, a quick story about this particular album. This album was a re-release of the local album that he released. It was "Let's Get It Started" was the name of the album.
Yes.
And if you ever get a chance to see it, I'm sure there's copies floating around Oakland somewhere. But it's him, and he's in a troop jacket, and it's red and white.
I have it. Oh yeah.
Oh, so you know, like it's got like,
brother,
like 4 or 5 songs that aren't on there.
I was down with Hammer early. Hammer brought that shit off the Cold Go man. MC Hammer. Come on, man.
Oh,
come on, dog.
One.
Oh man.
And so his brother, I used to work at Cookie Magoo's down in downtown Oakland, across the street from the Tribune building. So I was 19 at the time, and his brother used to come in every day or every other day, and I would just get his dude some free cookies. And he would tell me, yeah, my brother's a rapper. My brother's a rapper. I'm like, okay, dude. Well, all right, well, just hook me up with some tickets. When you get in, and sure enough, dude blew up. I was working at UPS. Hammer put his record company was literally across the street from UPS. So when me and my buddy Mike got off work, we was trying to be rappers and producers at the time. So we would go over there and we would stick our tapes in the box. And then when that didn't work, we would drive to Fremont and go up to Hammer's mansion and put the tapes in his mailbox. Straight up. We was trying, boy.
That right there is called hustling. That's what that is. Man, he was, I mean, first off, Hammer is one of the greats. He was so big. He was everywhere. Hammer had a Saturday morning cartoon. Yep. That's how big
Saturday morning
Hammer
cartoon,
was.
Bro.
That's how I believe he had an action figure. Like I believe he had a toy.
He did have an action
That's
figure. He had
how
a bunch
big
of commercials.
He was. Yeah, man.
And the old school hip hop, the prior generation of hip hop would shit on him because he was too commercial. But then 10 years later, all of them trying to get commercials, all of them trying to get TV shows, the whole nine. He was so underappreciated, man.
Man, Hammer had people unironically and proudly wearing Hammer pants.
Yeah.
That's how big MC Hammer was. And what really got it going, what got it started, it wasn't "Let's Get Started." It was "Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him," with the main track, of course, being "Can't Touch This."
There was a song, there was a track called "Ring 'Em" that we used to, and then Hammer, before he was Hammer, he used to be at the clubs gigging, particularly down in San Jose. I don't know why he chose San Jose, but it was San Jose, and there was a club in Oakland called not City Nights. That's San Jose. I can't remember the name of it, but it was one in Oakland.
City Nights. I haven't thought about City Nights in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hammer and his crew used to show up there, and they would just put their record on and just get on the dance floor and start performing. It was amazing. You know what I think did Hammer in? Is he got too big too fast.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Type of success. Yeah, I don't. You know how most of these gigantic artists, they sort of have an album or 2 or 3 before they really explode and become worldwide phenomenon. This was his first national album.
He got big. It happened really fast, and also NWA, Dr. Dre, The Chronic, gangster rap, just to use that term. That happened because remember, then what did Hammer try to veer off into?
Yeah,
and listen, for those who don't know, Hammer's a street dude. All right, Hammer's a street dude. Is. What we saw with "Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him," and that point of time in his career, that was sort of the cleaned up, sanitized version.
Yeah,
for those who know, like Marcus, I'm sure you know, Hammer is a street dude. Okay.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now, gangster rap, NWA, The Chronic really is the big bang here in terms of this time frame in hip hop. Everybody started to gravitate towards that. So what did Hammer do? He did the ill-fated "Pumps and a Bump" video where he's wearing like a Falcons beanie and bikini underwear, and he's pumping and bumping right into the camera. And so I think, yeah, getting big, getting fast, that meteoric rise, that explosion,
So quickly.
that, along with our tastes in terms of what we were down with hip hop at the time, I think the turn was so severe that
Hard.
it's just that where Hammer was and what he was doing,
Whiplash.
it just got left behind that quickly. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And then you had Vanilla Ice, like literally the white Hammer, and even what was the reggae artist who was like the Hammer of reggae?
Not Snow.
Snow, no, not Snow. God, what was his name? He started talking about. God, what the hell was his name? I can't remember. I'm sure I'll think of it later on. God, I can't remember. But he dressed like Hammer, had the same haircut. What the hell was that dude's name?
Oh my God! Right, he was really biting that hard, huh?
He was the haircut, everything. No shirt, the Hammer pants.
Damn it. No, I can see him. I know.
I can visualize him.
Oh, I can see him too, but I can't think of his name. Somebody in the comments asked to know, what was his name? I
feel like his name started with a D.
Somebody in the comments has to know.
Oh my God.
You know what? But I have to look it up. But
damn,
it's gonna kill me. It's absolutely gonna kill me because I can see the guy too.
I visualized him. He had the same haircut. Golly! And then he made some anti-LGBTQ stuff. He said some of that shit, and he got banned. What the hell was this dude's name?
I'll see if I can look it up here before we get off the air.
I think it starts with a D.
I can't even think of it. On this date, Hammer released Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him. On this date in 1990. Last on this date, before we get you the best thing I've seen today and we get out of here. On this date in 2002, and I was lucky enough to be in attendance to see this. On this date in 2002, Vince Carter dropped the greatest performance. Shabba Ranks! That's who it was! Thank you. Vince Carter dropped the greatest dunk contest performance of all time.
Wants to see Vince Carter would told Kenny Smith that he has 4 dunks.
I was behind the baskets.
Okay, this was here.
This is in Oakland. Absolutely. 2002. And, brother, that's the first dunk. And everybody in the building, as you can see, it was a wrap. That was the greatest shit we had seen. You had people running up and down the aisles.
That is a reverse 360 going against the grain.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
And that's the first dunk.
Oh, man.
Exploded and perfect.
Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. So we'll fast forward here. Here's the second dunk. Come on, brother.
And that was about as simple a dunk as you can do.
Have you seen it since? Nope.
Oh, God.
Unbelievable. The third dunk.
To hang in.
Come on. But my favorite one's coming up. Yeah. The entire place was going crazy. It's the loudest crowd I've ever heard in my life.
Goodness gracious, it is over.
Come on, son.
Did I call it Daddy or what?
But my favorite one is the fourth of the 5 dunks.
Oh, these are legendary.
Dog. And he pulls up on the rim. He fixes his entire forearm in the look. Everybody's stupefied. Everybody's stupefied. He sticks it. Michael Keaton doesn't. Batman doesn't even know what the hell he's looking at right now. That's how incredible that was. Not only does he put his arm in the rim, he does a pull-up. He pulls himself up.
I'm not sure the guy can't go in through the rim head first.
Come on, man.
Let's see if there's a trampoline out there when he's doing this stuff. The mascot's left the
I
trampoline.
think I'm tired.
But he had one more dunk in him to finish off the greatest dunk contest performance of all time. By the way, this is a really good contest. Tracy McGrady was in the contest. Steve Francis was in that contest. And then he goes from a little bit inside the free throw line, but a two-hand straight up dunk.
Doing it with two hands is that's the.
Come on, son.
He knew what he needed to win. That's a smart dunk at the end.
Incredible. Incredible. Vince Carter's dunk performance in the 2002 dunk contest happened on this date, February 12th. Other than seeing Brett Favre throw for 399 yards and 4 touchdowns the day after his dad died, doing that against the Raiders at the Coliseum, this is the second greatest sports performance I have ever seen live and been in the building for. The video doesn't even do it justice. How loud that place was, and how he had people literally running up and down the aisles. People could not comprehend what they were seeing from Vince Carter. And you go from February 12th, 2002, Vince Carter's performance, to what the hell are we going to see in the dunk contest on Saturday? Who the hell are we going to see in the dunk contest on Saturday? I know it's just an exhibition. I know it doesn't matter, but the fall off has been severe. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You don't have the charisma.
No.
You don't have the charismatic dunkers in the game, in the dunk contest anymore. It really is sad, man. Dudes are so scared to participate, scared to be embarrassed, scared to miss a dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Vince is so different because this is stuff that Vince could do in games.
Yeah.
That's why you wanted to see him in the contest, because he did it in games.
Right.
He did it in games. I'm like, oh my God.
So there you go.
I can't tell you anybody who I'd be interested in seeing in the dunk contest anymore.
I mean, I would be interested, if you could get his act right, I'd be interested in seeing Ja. I would have been interested in seeing
Ja would have been good. But he wouldn't do it.
Zion Williamson, VJ Edgecombe. There's guys I would be interested to see. They're just not interested in the dunk contest. So
yeah,
I'm still gonna have it on. I'm still gonna watch it. But
I mean, we all gonna watch it.
As far as like being geeked for it, and as far as being hyped for it, those days are over. And I've come to grips with it.
We used to plan parties around.
Hell yeah!
The All-Star game on Saturday night for NBA.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
We're gonna watch the dunk contest tonight. Used to be the crown jewel of the weekend. Now people are like, how can we get rid of this shit?
Yeah. Well, do we even need it anymore? I think that's a legitimate question. So there you go. On this date, February 12th, 1981, Rush released Moving Pictures. School Days was released in theaters in 1988. Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em was dropped by MC Hammer in 1990. And in 2002, Vince Carter at the greatest dunk contest performance of all time. I say. We always wrap up the show with the best thing that I've seen today. Something I ran across on the internets, and it was the best thing I've seen. And I show it to you in hopes that will be the best thing you will have seen today. The unofficial celebrity couple of Quality Hang is, of course, Klay Thompson and Megan the Stallion.
Indeed.
Klay celebrated a birthday over the week, and Megan the Stallion threw him a birthday party. As you could see, they were all lovey-dovey. And let me tell you something. They are in love, okay? It's a wrap, all right? Megan threw his party for him. All his friends were there. All his peoples were there. His mama and daddy were there. Megan's been cooking for Klay and his daddy. So it's a wrap. It's only a matter of when they get married, not if they get married. And what's so great about this is, look, she got him a cake. She's got him a nautical themed cake because Klay
she know him.
To get out there. She know him. She knows him well.
She know him.
But the best thing I've seen today is this bit of video. Right, so they're dancing to Bone Thugs and Harmony, but this is how much Megan loves Clay.
Yeah.
She didn't just have a party and have him play Bone Thugs and Harmony. She got Bone Thugs and Harmony to play at his birthday party.
Yeah.
Come on. Now listen.
It's the first of the month.
Do you know how much you gotta love somebody to find Bone Thugs and Harmony and get them to come and play at your man's birthday party?
Yeah.
And they can
And I
play
think that
rapping
was
every single word.
all of them, too.
It was all of them. That was all the thugs.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Come on, man. All the Bone Thugs and Harmony members at Klay Thompson's birthday party, thrown for him by Megan Thee Stallion. That is the best thing.
That's a keeper right there, boy.
She loved that boy.
That's a keeper.
And I'm guessing
Clay smiling so hard.
Never. And we've seen him win 4 championships and he wasn't smiling. Listen, okay, we've seen Clay win 4 championships. We've seen him at parades. You've never seen this
China
look.
Clay.
China Clay, exactly. You've never seen this look on his face. Not like
this, boy.
No, not at all. So we continue to wish nothing but the best and nothing but happiness for the official celebrity couple of Quality.
They got a crib together now, right? Don't they get a crib together?
He's stupid if he don't.
I thought I saw her post some keys to a house up on her Insta, so I think they live together now.
Yeah, man. Lock that down, brother. Go ahead and do it, man.
Facts.
What you waiting on, dog?
Facts. You found a winner.
Because be careful, man. You lose her like a set of car keys. You don't want to do that now, Clay, because there's a lot of brothers swimming around. There's a lot of sharks waiting for that to break
don't
free.
Fumble.
So, don't fumble it. Please, Lord, don't fumble it, Clay, because there's going to be some brothers out there going, you know what? He wasn't good for you. There's some brothers out there dirty macking right now. Clay, hey, listen, Clay is in L.A. playing the Lakers right now. You best believe there's some cats trying to holler at Megan Thee Stallion at this very moment.
Some dirty macking going on.
The dirtiest of macking.
Golly.
The absolute dirtiest of macking. All right, I think that is enough. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. But before we do that, we'd like to thank, once again, our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns. 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. Check them out. Promise you, you will not be disappointed. Have yourself a fantastic weekend, my brother.
You too.
And how about we do this again next Thursday? President's Day is this Monday, so everybody's got a 3-day weekend, and I will do what I normally do on President's Day, which is dress up as my favorite president. And that, of course, would be John Quincy Adams. Don't ask me why. It's just a thing I do. Okay, all right. Don't kink shame me when it comes to celebrating President's Day.
Never.
Everybody have yourselves a fantastic weekend. We will see you next week. Enjoy the 3-day weekend. And as always, be good and be good at it. We'll see you. Bye.